We try again as the carts gather on the back straight, moving into the triple hairpin complex. Jerome Boucard leading them in pole position. Claudio Piazza-Musso in second place. Championship leader coming into the meeting, Colin Davis in third place on the second row. Christoph Adams in the red Swiss Hutless overalls on the second row. This looks better. And it's a much more level break, and this time I expect them to go, and we are racing. But again, Claudio Piazza-Musso loses out to Colin Davis. And not that he lost to Colin Davis before, but what I mean is on the outside of the front row, that didn't go well for him. Jerome Boucard takes the lead from Colin Davis. Piazza-Musso and Danny Morisseau were battling for third and fourth. There you see them in shot. And it does look as if Claudio, the former world champion, spilled a place there and is running in fourth place at the moment. All very wide there on the entrance to the triple hairpin approaching the back straight. So for the first time in 21 laps, our race leader is Jerome Boucard. Second place, Colin Davis. Third place, Danny Morisseau. And a little bit of confusion if you care to be spectating. Although Jerome Boucard is a clear livery 2 spot, we've got Tony Kart Racing overalls for both the second and third drivers. Colin Davis Kart 424 and Danny Morisseau of France Kart 426. Now, I've said previously in commentary, and I say again, Jerome Boucard very, very much a driver who is active in the kart, bounces around a lot, and certainly gets plenty of movement when he's racing in the kart. Oh, and going off the circuit there, you see onto the grass, that's kart number 433. Well, that was Laurent Martin of France, very much down the field, and I'm afraid he's even further down the field as a result of that. Visiting the grass, doing a little bit of grass track racing, as we sometimes say colloquially, and that's not done him any good at all. That was Laurent Martin of France driving the BSA chassis machine, but driving it off the tarmac and onto the grass. In the meantime, onto the back straight goes race leader Jerome Boucard. Kart 431 right at the very, very back is Pedro Lores, and he will be in danger of being lapped at some point in the race. So the race leader goes over the start-finish line. There are now 18 laps to go and a 15-second penalty to Patrick Vasterman. Well, Patrick Vasterman is only running 13th on my screen at the moment. At the final classification, he's going to be lower than that because he's got a 15-second penalty, which I can only assume is for a jump start. Now, just look at Claudio Piazza-Musso going to take third place back from Colin Davis, and does. Sorry, second place back from Colin Davis, and does. Race leader Jerome Boucard. In second place now, Claudio Piazza-Musso. In third place, it's Colin Davis. Fourth, it's Danny Morisseau. Fifth, Raymond Hennig, the Dutchman. But here comes the race leader over the start-finish line again. There's Piazza-Musso, there's Colin Davis. Here's our race leader, kart number 428, Jerome Boucard. Now, whenever there's a good scrap for second place and some change of place, of course, one of the most advantageous parties on the circuit is the guy in front, because the pressure on Jerome Boucard has been eased considerably. He's now got very nearly a 2 seconds cushion. It's 1.971 seconds. So Claudio Piazza-Musso going for that victory, but he's got to haul in a couple of seconds. You see on the back straight the difference between them, coming now into the triple hairpin complex. Race leader Jerome Boucard, been extremely impressive in this race meeting. Did well in Salbris in round 1 of the Rotax Euro Challenge, but not quite as impressive as this time. This does seem to me to be a better show. Claudio Piazza-Musso now has the advantage of clear track in front of him and is pulling away a tiny little bit from Colin Davis. But of course the disadvantage is he's got an awful long way to go to catch Jerome Boucard. About 100 metres in front of Jerome Boucard, who doesn't have clear track in front of him, is the back marker Pedro Lores. Pedro Lores struggling in this competition, driving the Maranello chassis. Pedro, veteran from Portugal, always smiling, very, very cheerful guy, as indeed are most of our Portuguese friends. Race leader Jerome Boucard comes onto the final hairpin, onto the home straight now, and crosses the start finish line now. Cart number 428, Jerome Boucard, dips down to ease the wind resistance. Claudio Piazza Musso second, Colin Davis third, Danny Morisseau fourth, Roman Hennig of Holland is fifth, Christoph Adams surprisingly down there, 422. You see the red racing overalls. There he is, Christoph Adams trying to get a place back. He's only sixth. We would have expected him to be higher, because Christoph Adams actually led the pre-final briefly, was second for a long time, eventually finished fourth, and gets a place back. There's Christoph Adams. Christoph Adams getting a place back off Roman Hennig, going from sixth to fifth. Well, not so sure that Junpei Takayama hasn't penalised both of them, going into seventh place. Junpei Takayama taking advantage there. So Junpei Takayama in the red and yellow livery, the Maranello cart, going extremely well in this one. We're at the 1/3 race distance. 7 laps gone, 14 laps to go. Jerome Boucard crosses the start finish line 2.27 seconds in front of second place man Claudio Piazza Musso. Colin Davis still third, Danny Morisseau fourth, and Junpei Takayama getting fifth place when Christoph Adams went past Roman Hennig. So the red and yellow Maranello cart of Junpei Takayama, Taki to his friends. Taki is very much a jovial type of Japanese guy. Speaks good English, but likes to have fun, likes to take many photographs, travels all over the world, loves taking photographs, loves talking to people about kart racing. Well, kart 440 is Claudio Piazza Musso with clear track in front of him, but 2.4 seconds away from the race leader Jerome Boucard. 425 you see in shot there is Danny Morisseau. Kart number 424, Colin Davis. Colin Davis, who swept all before him really in Salbris, very much an untouchable. Raced with us in the Rotax Euro Challenge previously. He's raced in Senior Max as well as Masters. If there hadn't have been a strong competition in the Rotax Max Masters, Colin Davis was going to race Rotax Seniors. But with the likes of Jerome Boucard and the likes of Danny Morisseau, we think that there's plenty of competition to be had. So Colin Davis very happy to race in this class now. There is kart number 424, the blue helmet, just in front of kart number 426, Danny Morisseau. If you talk to Danny Morisseau, very cheerful little Frenchman, and I say little because he's not very tall. He decided to enter this championship at Salbris, just see how he went, and only intended to race in France, but he was so good in Salbris, we said, hey Danny, you've got to come and race with us for the rest of the championship. You're one of the better drivers in this class, and so he is, running fourth at the moment. There is kart number 425. I think, yes, 425 on screen was Junpei Takayama.